What's up everyone? We are back with another delivery video, and today we are looking at the Qronge Meteor step-thru e-bike. This is a commuter e-bike from this company Qronge. I think it's pronounced Qronge. I actually don't know. Looks like Qronge, so that's what I'm going to call it. In terms of basic overall features of this bike, it's got 1,000 watt peak motor that can go up to 25 miles per hour, 460 watt hour removable battery. You can see it goes into the frame. And they claim up to 70 miles of range and 7-speed shifter. And overall, you know, a pretty nice looking commuter e-bike, very normal bike. So looking at the overall view of the bike, you can see that it looks very much like a commuter bike. Step-thru design makes it easy to get on and off. It's got swept back handlebars, so makes it more kind of an upright seating position. Got a nice front basket here, which is useful for, you can see I can have my Doordash bag in here right now. And one of the interesting things about this basket is it folds down. So if you had something real big, you could fold it down, stick it in there and have it like sitting out a bit. So pretty cool to have that. Nice design element there. As well, the rear rack gives you some space to put a bag or a pannier or something. As well, it's got these brackets here so you can put a bungee cord and bungee some stuff there. There are some permanent ones you can put on there like that, which is very useful to have. Looking at the front wheel here, the tires are skinnier than most e-bike tires. The tires are 26 by 1.95 inches, so a little thinner than a lot of your typical e-bikes. It's got front and rear disc brakes. They are mechanical disc brakes. Kind of a random Chinese brand, Shunfeng, so don't expect anything special from that. Mechanical disc brakes, fine for the performance we need here. One thing to know is when I got my bike, the front rotor was a little bit bent and I couldn't, you know, it kept rubbing. So what I did was I just went on Amazon and bought like a cheap rotor and replaced it myself, and now it's fine. I probably could have contacted them and did something, but it was only $10 for me to buy this cheap rotor, so I didn't really care too much about that. But yeah, here's a look at the front rotor here and the disc brake. And then here's a look at the rear tire with the disc brake and everything. Over on this side, you've got your chain. It's a Shimano shifter and derailleur. These tires are Chow Yang tires, which is just another standard tire company for many of these overseas e-bikes. And then over here you've got your battery, and it's just a battery that goes into the frame. You can see I got the key right here, so you take the battery out, put it in. It gives it a nice sleek appearance since the battery goes into the frame like that. And then when you want to charge it, you just take it out, plug it in. You can plug it in while it's in the frame as well if you wanted to, so most people probably just take it out and plug it, but that's an option for you. The seat is this nice kind of brown seat, unbranded or unknown brand, just a generic seat, no problem there. I do need to tighten up this front light here because it's moving, but it does have a front light as well as a rear light, so that's good. You can remain visible. And look at the handlebars here. You've got your display over here on the left. Pretty nice display actually. It shows your power, your battery percentage, and your speed along with your odometer and stuff. It's got a throttle over here on the right. Comes with a little bell, shifter here, brakes, mechanical disc brakes, all that stuff. So yeah, so that's kind of a general overview of this bike. It's like a regular commuter bike, a little more powerful than you expect for a bike that looks kind of pretty small, but yeah, it's got some nice looks to it, and I think it's pretty useful for someone who wants to commute, and the fact that it comes with this rear rack and this nice little front basket makes it very useful for someone who just needs to get around and carry some things, like what we do when we're doing food delivery. So anyway, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this bike out, we'll do some deliveries. It's probably gonna be a slow food delivery day, but we'll see what we can pull off. So let's get out there and go do it. All right, we got our first order from Chick-fil-A right up over here. Let's go get it. Luckily we're right here, so it works out perfectly. Hi, picking up from Marina. Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Have a good one.
Thanks. All right, we got that order. And this basket on the front of the Qronge is very helpful to have. So yeah, it kind of works out perfectly. I have this little basket because I can just put the food right here in front and I'm on my way. So ride quality impressions, I'm enjoying the ride quality. It seems fine. This is not an expensive bike, so obviously you have to understand what you're getting into. The parts are not going to be high end or anything, but for the price point, it gives you some solid stuff. Step-thru design is nice. Feels very comfortable as a commuter bike, and having the little basket plus the rear rack on the back makes it a pretty useful bike to kind of hold stuff when you need to. And for food delivery, you can see, especially with small orders like this, having this front basket is very helpful. So yeah, the top speed on this bike, I believe, is around 20 miles an hour. I've got it on pedal assist 3, but I'm going to put it to pedal assist 5. And yeah, at pedal assist 5, I can basically go about 20 miles per hour. That's good enough for your average commuter rider, especially when you're looking for like an entry-level e-bike. And then, you know, the look of this bike is definitely going to give you a different feel. It feels more like a European style bike or like a Dutch bike because you've got these kind of swept handlebars, step-thru design. It puts you kind of straight up. So yeah, most of the bikes I use are kind of put you in an upright position like this. They're commuting bikes, and it makes it a lot more comfortable to ride, especially if you're like wearing normal clothes. On pedal assist 3, I can go about 16 miles per hour. Let's see, on pedal assist 4, I go up to about 18, so 18, 19. So pedal assist 4 is pretty powerful actually. Pedal assist 3 is a little bit slower. So I bet for most people riding this, you'd probably want to do it in 4 or 5. But yeah, some other features of the bike. It uses mechanical disc brakes, so be aware of that. It's not the worst. One issue I had is when I got the bike, I had kind of some issues with the front rotor. I think it came a little bent. I ended up just buying a cheap rotor on Amazon and just replaced it myself. All right, here we go. Pulling up to Herbert Hansen Hall. It should be here. And this was a good paying order, so I am happy with that. So yeah, just waiting for the customer right now to get down here, but you can see, here's a look at the bike. Pretty good, solid looking bike. Step-thru, I've said this before in previous videos, but having step-thru design makes it much easier for food delivery just to get on and off the bike quickly. And it's a very underrated aspect of getting an e-bike for food delivery. And then you can also see, of course, this nice basket in front here, which I got my Doordash bag. And then you also got this rear rack over here. And nice about the rear rack, it has these brackets here that you can put like a bungee cord on. So that's very useful to have. You put a bungee cord here, and then you can bungee some stuff down. So that's a good feature there.
Sorry about that.
Nope, all good.
You don't need a code or anything, right?
Nope, don't think so. Should be good. Yep, all good.
Have a good one.
Yep. All right, well, we got that delivered. And that one should be paying pretty well. I think it was like $7 just to go, you know, 5 minutes away. So that should be working out pretty well. The only problem though now is I didn't get started until about 12:30, and it's a Monday. It makes me think that I'm not gonna get very many deliveries. So we might be actually biking around looking for deliveries. But that does give us time to talk about this bike. So you can see here, the swept back handlebars gives a good commuter feel compared to like load bars, like drop bars or like a straight bar. The grips here are like some fake leather grips. You've got a pretty good display actually. It's pretty clear, easy to see. It's got your battery power in percentage terms, and then it's got a light and pedal assist 1 through 5. Over here, just a regular Shimano shifter, a little bell, not like a great bell or anything, just a regular bell, but does the job. And then throttle over here on the right. And let's see, when you're throttling right now, you go, it gets you to 20 miles per hour on the throttle. And that's good. Oh no, it goes faster than 20 miles on the throttle. Ooh, look at that. On the straightaway with just throttle, I can get to 23. Oh, interesting. I noticed that when I held the throttle, it seemed to do like an autopilot where it just kind of kept it going. That could be useful if you're just going on a straightaway and didn't want to pedal at all. I suspect that if you're getting a bike like this, you're probably going to want to pedal just because it's it feels more natural to pedal a bike like this because it feels like a commuter bike. Like this bike looks like one you could pedal just even without a battery. So yeah, if you're riding this bike, probably expect to ride typically around 18 to 20 miles per hour. And you could probably get faster than that appears with the throttle. So it's not a slow bike. It's not like a super powerful bike either, but it's not slow at all. And I really do like that it feels like a nice commuter bike that's very accessible for most people. Yeah, and then in terms of the pedal assist, it is a cadence sensor. So cadence sensor makes it so that you just kind of turn the pedals. Doesn't matter how hard you pedal. Some people prefer the cadence sensor. I've actually gotten more used to torque sensors these days, so that's what I prefer. But for a price like this, you know, this bike comes in at $700 on sale. You gotta expect that it's gonna have to cut on somewhere. So you're not getting a torque sensor, so you'll get a cadence sensor, which is totally fine. But yeah, so I would definitely think of this bike as just a cheap commuter e-bike. And for 700 bucks, you'll most likely get your money's worth. Obviously, if you want more brand reliability and that kind of thing, you would want to go kind of a step up to kind of more well-known brands. If you're getting a bike like this, you're going to want to make sure that you know how to maintain bikes and stuff. It's not a complicated bike or anything, so most people will be able to kind of do their own work. Bike shops will handle a lot of stuff, but you never know with a company like this whether you'll have good support on it in the future, just because it's a new company or a newish company and it's gonna be less known what kind of support you'll get. But again, I think for 700 bucks, if you're gonna use this bike as like a delivery bike or as like a commuter bike, you'll probably get your money's worth. And you know, if you think about getting a bike like this and using it for food delivery, you can definitely make your money back pretty quick. All right, we just got an order, Uber Eats order from Lou's Sandwiches. It's not the best order, but I just want to get some content out, so we are gonna go do it. But yeah, so, you know, riding this bike, pretty smooth. It has a little suspension in the front fork there. Not super necessary, but it's good. I wouldn't like spend a ton of money customizing this bike, but you know, if you needed more suspension, you could probably change the seat or something to a more cushiony or a seat with more suspension to it. And it's not too loud of a bike. The motor is pretty quiet and it's really very natural to ride. Like the motor doesn't, you know, send you flying. I feel it's pretty good. And you know, I've got on Power Assist 4 and I do 20 miles per hour pretty easily. So I guess at Pedal Assist 5, you would go 25. So let's see, Lou's Sandwiches. We're gonna go right over here and pick this up. So the kickstand on this bike is really pretty crappy. It's a very thin kickstand. It looks like it's gonna break, honestly. So don't load it up too heavy, I would say. All right, hello. I got for a Nitty. Yep, confirmed.
Thank you.
All right. All right, we got this order. And it comes with a bubble tea. It's hot today, so I'm just gonna stick it into this basket. Be fine. So you can see, very convenient to have this. I unfortunately don't have my quad lock with me. Here we go, we stuck everything into this front basket here. I think it'd be fine, actually. I'm gonna hold this drink. It's sealed up so it wouldn't spill if it was sideways, but I don't like it bouncing around. So all right, it's just going up into Southeast Como neighborhood, about a mile. Should take us about 6 minutes. And this order's not paying a lot, only $4, but I gotta get what I can right now due to slowness. And you can see how convenient it is to be on a bike right now because the construction around the U of M is so bad right now. So yeah, I think the #1 person who would benefit from a bike like this is definitely a commuter, someone who wants it to get to work and stuff. You'd ideally want to use it like a summer commuting bike, which I think this is totally fine for that, especially with the nice basket and stuff. And then as a bike delivery person, like what I'm doing, I think this bike is pretty good for that. For only 700 bucks to get all this stuff on it, that's pretty useful. Really the only thing that I would be concerned about is just what you would do if any issues arise. I think you gotta remember that even if you used it for like a year, you would still get your money worth if you were using it like for bike delivery or for you know, to get around. Because when you think of the cost of a car or whatever. What are you doing, man? This is not a, hey, this is not a lane, dude. Like, it's not a lane. That Tesla just drove into that bike lane like he thought it was a car lane. And not only did he do that, he also did it while cutting me off. Oh, well. I mean, let's see. So I've been riding for a little bit. I started about 90% battery. Now I'm at 68%. And I haven't ridden that much, but so who knows? I guess I don't know what the range is on this one. But yeah, it's a pretty nimble bike, this one. You definitely, though, it's definitely not a cool bike. So you wouldn't get this bike if you're looking to be like, look cool or something. Like, I don't care if I look cool on the bike or not. So for sure, just getting around on this bike would not be a problem for me. All right, we're delivering to this apartment right over here. Okay, here we go. Yeah, we are here, and you can see just here, having that step-through design really makes it useful. Like, people just really underestimate the impact of having to kind of lift your leg up constantly. Okay, so leave a door order, which is nice. I can just leave it down here, and they said they will come to get it. So that's what we will do.
That looks like a nice bike.
This one, yeah, it's a fun.
Electric?
Yeah, it's an electric bike.
How
And
fast can it go?
this one can go 25.
Really?
Yeah, but you wouldn't get a bike like this to go real fast on.
All right.
It's just kind of to get around, yeah.
Yeah, that's sweet though. I'm looking to get one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
I want fast.
You want that, yeah. So you want to get like one that's like a motorcycle then?
Yeah. Well, so what was that, like a couple grand?
No, this one's only $700.
Oh man, that's cool.
So it's a good price, yeah.
So I was way out of thinking what I was. I thought it looked like at least a little more than that. So.
Oh yeah, no, it's it's a good deal for this one. You know, it's always funny. It seems like whenever, a lot of times when I do deliveries on a new bike, people ask me about the bike. So yeah, like if you want a bike that goes real fast, this isn't the bike you're gonna want. If you just want a bike to get around for cheap, this is a good option. $700, you can make your money back doing deliveries. I mean, you could probably make that back in a few weeks if you did, a decent number of deliveries. And after you've done that, you've got yourself a free bike. Let's see, now we're just kind of waiting for an order, so maybe we will just kind of chill for a bit. Oh, wait. Let's go do it. Why not? We got an order from Bon Appetit. Finally, let's go do that so we can get some more deliveries. Not one I would normally do, because not sticking around this area, but it's around here. It's not the worst bike ride. Whoop. But yeah, in terms of braking power, you saw I had to do a quick little brake. It brakes fine. Taco Bell. You know what? We're gonna do this one too. Let's go do it. So we just grabbed a Grubhub order for Taco Bell also, which is up near the quarry. Not what I'd normally do, but so I'm kind of doing these kind of crappy orders. This Taco Bell order comes back down, so it'll at least give me 4 deliveries, which is kind of my goal whenever I'm doing any of these delivery videos, is I need to get at least 4 deliveries in, so I can kind of show you how the bike works. All right, let's see, here we go. You know, I forgot my fast charger today, so I gotta use this power brick that's kind of older and slower. Hey, I got an order for Emily F.
All right, there you are.
All right, wonderful, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good one.
Thanks. Got this order from Bon Appetit. Goes into this nice little basket here. Pretty good. I mean, kind of have what you need for a delivery bike here. And it's not a heavy bike either. It's a pretty light bike. The only thing is, because the step-through is not really a good spot to hold it, you got to kind of hold it like this, like from the frame here. But still, pretty good, pretty good. Okay, we are gonna go and deliver this one up, and then we'll go pick up this Grubhub order. This Uber Eats order is paying $5, which isn't horrible. I should be able to get up there pretty quick. So I don't know if you can tell from my angle here, but with the way the handlebars are, I kind of got this upright bike stance, which I like. It makes it a more comfortable ride. And it just feels more like you're going somewhere versus when you're all hunched over and pedaling all hard. It feels very relaxing to ride like this. My only concern is the range, because I'm down to 57% now. I haven't been going that hard. I believe it's set up to 70 miles of range in the stats, which obviously those range things are never correct, but still, it like drops down pretty quick. Cause yeah, I started this at 90, and I feel like by the time I'm done with this, it's gonna be down to, you know, 30 or lower. So we'll see how this, what the deal is with this one. You know, I don't ride too many like just basic commuter bikes like this, but I can see that this would be useful for a lot of people, especially for the price point. It's like a nice entryway into the e-bike. Hit up this bike path here, taking a left. So yeah, one of the advantages of living here in Minneapolis is we have pretty good bike infrastructure. I mean, you can see lots of separated stuff. That works out, although of course it doesn't always work out, as we saw when that Tesla really drove into the bike lane. And it was not even just a regular bike lane, it was a protected bike lane. So they just drove into like a totally separated bike path. Hello, how are you doing? All right, there you go, have a good one. Yes, I'm down to 49% now. So I am now down to 48%. And I don't know if that's like always like that. In fact, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try turning off the bike and seeing if it resets. Let's see. Well, now it's got me at 50%. So maybe the battery range isn't so great. I'm gonna ride on pedal assist 3 just to avoid losing too much battery. So I don't wanna be at like 20% at the end of the day, because I don't think I brought the charger with me. Okay, so over here we are gonna go, we're gonna have to turn, go on Broadway, and then go up that diagonal trail. Let's do that. And I think that'll probably be my last delivery of this lunch rush, because I'm not really getting a whole lot. This highway part, not a comfortable spot to ride. Yeah, look at the disrespect shown to people on the sidewalk here. Like, what are you supposed to do right here if you're like in a wheelchair? You can't even get around that. Yeah, I really hope one day, you know, this should really be like at least make this sidewalk a multi-use path or something, you know, to widen it out. And then it would connect to this bike path right here. You see? Once you get here, it's fine. But to get to that bike path, you gotta like basically just go on this terrible sidewalk. Here we go. Taco Bell over to our right here. And just got a notification saying that it's ready. The only question is, how do I get over there? The fast way would be just go over the grass. But I'll take the long way around. Let's go do the drive-thru. We're gonna go drive-thru on the bike. See if they'll let us do it. Hey, I'm picking up for Jen. All right, thank you. Okay, it's actually totally perfect because it's going right back to the university, going to the university hospital. Okay, so we're on like a pretty big street, so I'm gonna pump it up to power level 4 just in case. So anyway, my thoughts on this bike, I think enjoy it. I think it's a pretty nice bike for $700. I think if it got to 1,000, I'd have to think about it, but in the 700 range, I think that's totally a fair price. And if you're just looking for like a good bike to commute and do some deliveries with, you can see how helpful it is to have this little basket in front. So who is this bike good for? For sure, the number one option for this bike would be for commuters. If you're someone who wants a bike to commute to work, you need to be able to hold a couple things, this is perfect for it. Step-thru, you can wear just regular clothes. With the motor, you won't sweat. It's perfect. I mean, I've been biking, I'm not breaking a sweat at all. The other option is if you're doing food delivery, I think that is also an excellent bike for that. And mainly for food delivery, it's just a good option because it has all this nice ways to hold stuff. You have this little basket it comes with. If you stuck like a basket on the back rear rack, you've got plenty of storage space to hold all your deliveries. And then because it's such a low price bike, make your money back on it pretty quickly. I wouldn't get this bike if I just wanted a bike to ride around for fun, because I think there are other bikes that are more fun, quote unquote, to ride. But like, you know, the way this bike is set up, it's set up for commuting. You know, your step-thru design, upright seating positions, swept back bars, it's kind of perfect for that. You know, and also if you aren't like a super confident biker, this would be a good bike for you too. It's not like so powerful, and the way it's set up makes it pretty easy to ride. So I think that would be a good option too. So really the only people it's not like a great bike for is if you're like someone who wants to just zoom real fast and you want like a cool looking bike. That there are a lot of other types of bikes for that. And I'd say my average speed riding this is typically about, I mean, I've been going 17, 18 miles an hour the whole time. So real good ride speed. I didn't do the no-handed test that much, but you know, I always find that these kind of bikes are a little harder to do no-handed because the weight is a little bit off compared to like a regular road bike. But you can see no wheel wobble or anything. It handles very well. So yeah, overall, I guess I can kind of give my final thoughts on it as we make our way to this last delivery spot. But pretty much, I like the price of this bike. I like kind of design elements of it. That's just a very standard commuter bike with good storage space, a nice upright riding position, and obviously a very good price point for that. And the speed and power is totally good for what I'm looking to get out of this bike, which is just to get around, you know, comfortably. Oh, and then of course the smaller, skinnier tires. It gives it a much more regular bike feel than like if you're riding like a huge fat tire bike. But yeah, I think a lot of people get a lot of use out of this bike. And you know, it's a nice bike to ride around and get some stuff done. Okay, here we are. Whoops, sorry. All right, and that finishes up our last delivery for the day, I think. We ended up doing 4 deliveries, 3 Uber Eats, I believe, and 1 Grubhub. We didn't do any Doordash deliveries. And you know, we had a guy to go around. It wasn't a very lucrative one, but I kind of had to do what I could. But yeah, so that was a look here at the Qronge Meteor step-thru bike. I hope you enjoyed seeing me take this bike around, and you can see kind of what you can do with it in a real-world setting. Very useful bike to have. Works out pretty well for food delivery. So anyway, hope you like this video. Hit that like button if you like what you see. Subscribe for more videos like this. And until next time, I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace out, everybody.